Whether you're a content creator that's just starting out or already a seasoned veteran, I can guarantee you're gonna learn something from this video. If you're posting on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, OnlyFans, there is one thing that all these platforms have in common, that is they all have an audience. And in today's video, we're gonna break it down and do some audience analysis. Hello and welcome to the Mike Powers channel, where we engage in big brain discussions on marketing, branding, and social media growth. If you enjoy your stay, then by all means, smash that like button for YouTube algorithm, and let's get into it. Before we can open this can of worms, let me ask you this question. Now, if you're making content on YouTube, OnlyFans, or whatever, let me know what you think your ideal audience member looks like down in the comments below, or what niche you're trying to target. And if you don't have a social media account yet, I want to know what kinds of viewers you want to attract when you start posting on social media. Let me know your answers down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to respond to all of them. This is meant to be a thought exercise to get you to start seeing your content in the audience's point of view. And I'll be giving you some advice to answer this question in this video. So you might be thinking, what's the point of understanding your audience? Why do we need to do this? Well, the reason is because it's social media. It's in the name. Aside from the shit puns, on social media, there are two parties, the content creator and the content consumer. When we make content, we establish the content creator side and we hope to engage the content consumer side. And this means even if we don't think about it, we are always thinking about how others will react to our posts and are trying to formulate the best post to get the most amount of engagement. Anytime you post on your story or grandma posts on Facebook, we all want people to interact with our posts, family, friends, or even strangers on the internet. The difference between your grandma posting on her Facebook and you posting on your story is the certain types of people that are gonna engage with that post. Grandma is not going to post a picture of her getting a victory royale because the types of people that grandma wants to interact with don't even know what Fortnite means. But she will post a picture of her sweet grandkids at a pool party because that's what her audience wants to see, mainly her family. The more you can understand what your audience wants, the more you can tailor your content to them. And just think about it. If you were to use a different filter or put more time into a video, if it meant you can get more and more likes, then why wouldn't you? So that means you should think about your audience and what types of things they would want to watch. So now you might ask the question, how do I find what people want to watch? I'm gonna give you all the tools and tips to start answering this question. The first tip I'm gonna share seems a bit trivial, but that is to just start posting what you think your audience wants. You should have an idea in your head of what the audience you want looks like and just post what you think will work. If you want to attract a Fortnite audience, then start posting Fortnite videos. Same with cars or comedy or movies or even gardening. Then over time, you should be constantly testing out your content to see what your ideal audience member looks like. This means thinking about every aspect of their life, such as what they like, their age, and what they like to do in their free time. You'll also have YouTube analytics to help you out. When you start, you're not going to know every detail, but the more you post, the better idea you'll get of your ideal audience member. The second tip is that you should start small when posting online. If you're a larger creator, this doesn't really apply to you, but for those who are just starting out, you can follow this advice. Make content that is super specific to a particular audience. Don't just post a gaming video here and a makeup video there. Your entire channel is a brand, and when people see your channel, they should know exactly what you do. Your job is to find more ways to get more people to find your content, and you're not going to do that by posting just some random videos. A very popular YouTuber that we can turn to as an example is Disguised Toast. Nowadays, he's posting videos on Among Us, but back before he did Among Us, he was posting videos on Hearthstone. He started with this core specific audience that was the game Hearthstone. He posted interesting and exciting videos specifically for that audience. And that leads right into the third tip, which is over time, you can branch out and start testing different things. This is what led Disguised Toast to branch out from the game of Hearthstone into other games such as Among Us. If he hadn't posted all those Hearthstone videos, he would never have gotten to Among Us in the first place. And now he is making a killing. You need to start small and then grow as you go. If you focus on catering your content to a specific audience, you can grow your influence over time and then branch out once you've gained a core fan base. And that's kind of like what I'm doing with this channel. I'm focusing on people who are interested into getting into the game of content creation. A very good quote that sums up this point perfectly is, if you try attracting everyone, you will reach no one. Find a specific audience and grow your channel from there. And this concept applies all over social media and business. Facebook, for example, was started in Mark Zuckerberg's dorm room for Harvard students only. He focused on his core audience and then grew as need be. Now Facebook is all over the world, even with attempts to make their own currency, but it wouldn't have gotten to that point if it didn't start only at Harvard. But your audience is ultimately what makes you successful, so it's important to spend a lot of time thinking, does this video serve what my fans want me to make for them? If your fans want a dog shit 240p video, then that's what you should make for them. If your fans want a 2-hour-long feature film, then that's what you should make. But you will only know once you start posting, which is why I suggest you start posting for a specific audience, and then over time, get a good idea of what your audience looks like, and then formulate content with them in mind. But now you might ask, Mike, you glub, this process will take forever. How can I speed it up? What you can do is get involved in your community. Go online and look for some recent news, or go on other YouTube channels and see what other people are talking about in your niche. You can see what others are doing and then make content that's relevant to that. You should not make a video on a topic no one in your your audience cares about. If you talk about toasters on a car channel, no one is going to care because your channel is focused on cars, not toasters. A great tip for getting content ideas that I like is to go on forum boards like Quora and Reddit. There is an audience talking about all kinds of topics that you can make content with. One key thing to keep in mind though is to never copy. Your value comes by adding to the conversation, not by copying what other people have already done. If you end up copying people, why would anyone want to watch you? What makes you unique? And trust me, everyone has an answer to this question. You just gotta get your hands dirty and start posting videos. And honestly, I should listen to my advice more and just post a lot more videos. I know I need to do it, which is why I'm making this video. So make sure to subscribe, fire content on the way. So next we're gonna discuss something that I like to call the viewer hierarchy. This will visually help explain any audience on social media. It's used to help show what types of fans there are on the internet. If you can thoroughly master this chart, you'll be a master at understanding how people get so many genuine fans on the internet. This is very similar to my Keemstar video and my eventual Jake Paul video. They are masters at abusing this chart, and it is exactly how they have grown their channels. So on this blank screen is the social media space. It can be on any platform you so desire. Then in the center, we will draw a circle and put the term content creator in it. In this circle is the content creator and only their content, nothing else. It can be either the TikToks they make, the videos they post, their Instagram, or even their OnlyFans posts. Then we will draw some audience members. These people will be placeholders that will represent our audience. They are people like you and me, consumers of content. When a creator is first starting out, they will have no content, and their viewer hierarchy will look something like this. They currently have 0 audience members. So now let's say they post a video on a place like YouTube. Now they then introduce their first circle of audience members. Next, we will draw a circle around the creator circle to represent these people. Inside the circle are the audience members who know about the creator, and outside are people who do not know about the creator. As a content creator posts more and more videos on any social media platform, their audience will get bigger and bigger. When creators are just starting out, it is very hard to get those few dedicated fans. That's why it's crucial to make videos for a very specific type of person. That means you can get those core fans super fast, who feel like the content is made just for them. Every time you post is another chance for people to engage with your content and be fans of what you do. So now as you grow larger and larger after posting more and more videos, establishing your core fan base, then making videos, branching out in other topics, your account will begin to snowball and you'll eventually start getting a lot more followers. So then for instance, let's say after 2 years of posting on YouTube, you end up with let's say 100,000 audience members. Notice how I didn't say subscribers or followers. This is because on places like YouTube or TikTok, you can have lots of audience members, but most of them don't have to end up following you. Inside the circle, there are 5 tiers of audience members. The first tier is the S tier. These are what we call the raving fans. These are the audience members that will watch everything and buy everything you put out, such as merch. The second tier is the A tier. These are the highly engaged audience members. They don't buy your merch, but they watch most of your videos. They are very active with your social media accounts. The third is the B tier. These are fans who just kind of casually watch the creator's content. In these first 3 circles is what we call the active audience. This is the part of the audience that is active with your social media content. A creator hopes to get more and more people to this part of their audience by posting more engaging content. The fourth tier is the C tier. These are the types of people who are not typically regular audience members of a content creator. They maybe watch only a few of the videos when a thumbnail and title is enticing enough. The last tier is the D tier. These are people who do not watch any of your videos, but they know about you. They will know the name of the creator in a conversation, but they do not actively watch any of their videos. They typically know a creator from a friend or a collab with other creators. Within these last 2 circles are what we call the passive audience. These are just passive viewers of the content creator and are opposite from the active audience. Every creator has audience members that lie in these categories. For some, they may have a lot more S tier fans relative to their audience. Others may have a lot more people who simply know about them in the D tier. Take a second to think about some of the creators you watch and see where you fall on their hierarchies. Chances are you're in a lot more D to B tiers for most creators than you are in the A or S tiers. And let's take a look real quick at what the viewer hierarchy means in terms of different platforms. On places like YouTube, there is a pretty even distribution of people all around the tiers. People with all different thoughts and perspectives about different creators. On places like TikTok, for instance, every creator has a lot of fans in the D and C tier, but not too many fans in the A or S tier. This is because of how quick content is consumed on TikTok in very short meme-like snippets. On Instagram, there are more people in the C and B tier just because there are a lot more chances to see content from people who you follow. But most people consume content on Instagram very passively, similar to TikTok. As for something like Twitch, there are a lot more fans in the A and S tier because most of the time fans watch a creator for hours on end. This time spent watching the creator stream is what turns those viewers into lifelong fans. And for fun, platforms like OnlyFans have a lot of people in either the S tier or the D tier. If you like a creator enough, you're willing to pay money for them. Otherwise, you really don't check out their content all that much. These social media sites are a good way to think about the types of people that are on these platforms and how they will interact with your posts. Everyone uses a platform differently, so it's important to think about how your users interact with that post when you create content for a specific platform. So now let's talk about the most crucial aspect of all of this. How do we get audience members from outside outside the circle, to inside the audience member circle, and then to the S tier fans. From non-audience members to passive audience members to active audience members. The best analogy to explain this is dating. How we date in real life is similar to how people become fans of people online. You must first get their attention with a good thumbnail and title. It piques their interest, and they maybe click and watch a video. This is why YouTubers focus so much on discovery. This is very similar to the first date. An important thing to know is that when you're inside the audience member circle, the center pulls you in like a magnet. The more content a creator has, the more chances he has to pull you into their S tier circle. But they can only pull you in when you're in that D tier circle, and it makes sense. You have to at least know about the creator in order to become big fans of them. Each video after the first video is kind of like going on another date. The more dates, the higher the likelihood that you will have some relationship with that creator. Once you go on your first date and it goes well, you might go on a second and a third. But it all started with that first date. This is the same way with content creators. After you watch the first video and the second and the third, you start to climb the ranks of the viewer hierarchy and become a raving fan at the S tier. That's why TikTok isn't so good for attracting a loyal fan base. It's kind of like speed dating. People quickly come and go all the time with no real attachment. But on places like YouTube and Twitch, there's a lot more content for people to become attracted to your following. Over time, people will move up and down the hierarchy depending on how much they engage with your channel. But once they are in the circle, it is very hard for them to leave it all together. Because think about it. Once you watch a channel for a considerable amount of time, even if you don't like that person in the future, you are now still a potential audience member of that content creator. This is how YouTubers like Jake Paul and Keemstar have grown their following. They were hated by so many people that they were featured in so many YouTube videos. And this is an example of earned media. This is the type of media that is earned by a creator that he did not produce. And all those videos now introduce people to Keemstar and Jake Paul, placing them all in the D tier, where they just know about the creator without even seeing their videos, even if they hate them. There are more chances for those people to potentially become raving fans in the future, because they kind of already went on their first date, even if it didn't go well. If you want an in-depth look at this, go check out my video on Keemstar where I break it down even further. If you can focus on what your audience wants to see and your videos are perfectly made for them, you will easily get on the first date, and then you can take your viewer on the second and third. This will eventually lead you to start gaining fans and a sizable following. And this strategy is exactly what I'm doing with this channel at the moment. Most of my videos now are very informational. I want to help you guys grow your channel as well as grow my channel. But as I grow, I want to focus my videos that are part of the social media influence conversation. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you're still watching, thank you so much. Make sure to smash that like button for YouTube algorithm and subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video.